what to expect with it. And the curriculum is by a national nonprofit started in 2016 called Braver Angels. And it's bringing conservatives and liberals together and how to have constructive conversations. Because I don't know about you, but in my house and some even with friends, I've gotten to the point that I really can't talk about a lot of things, and I find myself just suffocating, like my blood pressure is too high, you can't go there. And so at this workshop, one of the things that happened is there was a list of conservative values and a list and concerns, and a list of liberal values and concerns. And when we read through those, so many people in the group said, oh yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. And yeah. So one of the takeaways is we have so much more in common than we have different. But sometimes you don't know that in social media because that's not the way it looks. I found out, like, my husband and I are getting like very different news of what is going on in the world. And so I learned that there is this new platform called pro-social media. There's a bunch of different things. There's not just one. So Facebook and a lot of the current social media, what it rewards and what it brings up are like anger and clicks and engagement and speed. So it's all about, oh, like what, and so it doesn't ultimately help us get to common decisions. It's like how we get mad at each other. And so pro-social media is taking conversations in a different way. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. Algorithms are what these, because we're not paying for Facebook, so where are they getting their money? They're getting their money based on looking at, like, how long did she watch that video? Okay, let me give her another video like that. What did she search? So who is she? And it comes up with, all this like model of who we are. So it rewards outrage, conflict, and it's not for problem solving or listening. So pro-social media takes people, it slows down the conversations. How can we find out what matters to people and what like common things that we could go towards? Or some things that are so divisive, like, no, we really can't make progress on that issue. So that may be a different one. So I've been using Agora Citizen. It's a open source platform, so I don't pay for it, but there are others. Another popular one is called Polis. It's structured prompts instead of comment threads, and it parses out agreement. So there will be on it. And then you can look at it and say, do I agree with that statement, neutral or disagree? And then you could also add your own comment that people could vote on. So QR code you can scan, and I have some handouts I'll pass out. And so I wanted to introduce this platform and hopefully get people in the community to start to use this. And if you have questions that you would like to ask the community, that would be fine too. Like I started the Pottsboro chat Facebook group, and this is not to divide, I'm just giving you an example. Somebody's posting that they're selling puppies, and I get a lot of people reporting that shouldn't be allowed to be in this group selling puppies. And my assumption is they're saying you should adopt, not buy. And so that I don't have pets, so that's not something that I really understood. I thought that would be an interesting question, like how do people feel? So for this sample question, if you scan this, it's what are the most important issues we should focus on in the next 12 to 24 months. And I've gone in and put some ideas that came to me in there. So you could vote on those. You could also add your own things. So it helps see what people share concerns, but share disagreements as well. And so, what we'll do, the library's been fortunate enough, we've got 4 or 5 civic engagement grants right now. Like, how do we as a community get involved with what's going on and have our voices heard, and what do we care about? And it's not always what rises to the top on Facebook or social media. And so that's what this is about. And we do have an algorithms class coming up April 9th here, if you're interested in doing that. And so if anybody has questions, let me know. But I would love for you to try this out, and I've got some handouts on the table. Or if you have questions you want us to post in there too, I'd love to. You can add your question. Yeah, I think if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, it'll say add. All right. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, our speaker, Nancy.
Well, I'd like to apologize for I got told the other day I was getting my haircut that and she said she counted how many times I said it. 127 times. I just want. But anyway, if I say I'm sorry. First thing I want to do is officially announce our new city manager. John took over, chief, I'm gonna call him chief. But he has done a fantastic job and he is officially, as of last week, our new city manager. And he is police chief and city manager. He will have the title as city manager, but his police chief duties will fall under his title. So.
Yeah, all right.
We are in the savings with that, about 30,000 a year that we will save the city in doing both. They've already taken over the loan contracts. I mean, it has just been busy. It's like, so thank you for him. Next thing is, you guys will put here the high school. So that's probably the biggest thing that we need to look at, because look at, social media and why aren't the roads being plowed, this and that, and people don't understand, first of all, the city, the county asks everybody to stay home. So that's probably the first thing that everybody is try to do, try to prepare yourself for the storm at the beginning. Then, food, gas. But next thing is, is it takes a while to get things through. Our roads out here are secondary roads compared to Highway 82, Highway 75. So that is TxDOT's first importance of plowing the roads to get the major thoroughfares open and get to our roads out here. And the county did real well. Matt got grader on Georgetown Road and did some plowing. We had a lot of volunteers that did a lot of their own plowing, with skid steers and stuff like that. It just takes so much time, and especially with what we had, it was an ice instead of snow. Snow really comes off the road real easy, and it doesn't destroy the plows. This event is so hard that I think the county said they went through plow as just real quick, because it was just a short class, so that's a big thing, that we just all gotta be kind of patient with that, you know, let them do their work. I, I know my local chief was, you know, he's in charge of the police department, he's, you know, they're out fire department, they've got things going on, we had a lot of collapsed buildings, and you can see right up the street here, Pottsboro building, the roof collapsed. There was just so much heavy, you know, that ice weighs about 45 pounds a square inch, square foot, and it just destroyed buildings. So that was a big thing. I was in constant contact with Sarah Summers, she's our OEM, Office of Emergency Management. So we had a thread going with all the mayors, Chief Dawson, and I mean Judge Dawson, and so we kept continued contact with each other through the whole storm. So I knew what was going on in other cities, and I would report our school closings, chief would report, and city offices being open or closed, and so we're all kind of communicating on the side. And you know, EMS and fire, but we, I buildings that go to labs or something. Any questions from y'all?
So I think one thing that's really important for everybody to know is we've actually passed each of the roads. I noticed the other day at the meeting, and I had to do this, was that road out in front of the school, it's Texas Road. And all of our residents seem to think that that is, that Pottsboro is responsible for that. And that is, you've got TxDOT, so they're gonna first work on the highways and then that road. We're not gonna be near as important to them as getting 75 fixed. But you take Georgetown Road, that's a county road, that's not, you're outside the city limits at that point. So really and truly, the city of Pottsboro only has the ability to do things like Preston Road or Bain or I think Pierce would be, that's considered a city road, so. Yeah, Cardinal Lane, things like that, but still, you know, they may, go and clear out Cardinal Lane, but that doesn't mean that they can get on TxDOT, so I think everybody gets their about stuff that they can't do, and for something that happens every 3 to 5 years. And I do think that I heard something mentioned the other day about it, is, you know, there is the ability to get those sort of things if you want to raise taxes. Right. And I mean, it can, same with the streets. I think Zach had mentioned it the other day about, you know, all the potholes, what was it figured out that the cost for just maintaining the city streets would be, didn't they figure up like $700,000 a year to maintain what we have? So that's possible if we want to put something on the ballot to raise taxes. And, you know, we're all kind of, I think that the city, most of the time, there needs to be a little bit of grace that there, how many years has it been that we've raised, that y'all raised taxes? That's been, it hasn't, and I know it hadn't happened in 3 to 4 years at least. So it does kind of come down to, if everybody wants more stuff, it's gonna cost more money.
We only have a 1/4 cent sales tax going in the streets and maintenance, so that's about $240,000 a year. That's all that the city has to spend on street maintenance repairs.
So, I mean, we can vote it in, and you can vote it in, that there's more money to be
At
spent.
the end of the day, it all comes down to money and resources, what you can do.
And it's just so expensive.
I would say that's the hardest thing for me during city council meetings is, and that's something that other people don't, you know, like I learned being on city council was that people come and they bring these problems to city council, but you can't, it has to go on an agenda. It can't just be spoken about right there in the meeting. It can't be here because there's not more of a council members. But, I don't think that's just something that's real important for
One thing was always asking. Because what gets inside that asphalt, and that's how you get you. It's just. we just gotta deal with it and.
I just want to thank everybody because I don't live in the city and it was very helpful seeing the updates of when certain roads were plowed and whatnot, because, you know, I wasn't able to even know what was going on. So the updates that the police department and fire department did do, I thought were very helpful. So,
You know, we was real lucky in our infrastructure because, if you look at this, they had water mains breaking. We went through this storm. Barely anything happening on the infrastructure. Water lines stayed together. I didn't have to get a full repair. I think we prepared really well through this event. So it's really that case. Next, just tell you a little bit about, we got a lot of developments coming in that are on the list. Chief's been working with these guys. First one out there, y'all know, the road, which is a RV park, which everybody's calling an RV park, but it's really not an RV park. This guy spent about $1.2 million out there. Spending $1 million on landscape. He's got 600 trees going around the place. Handsome around it. It's gonna really look nice. He has asked to be annexed into the city, which we are doing, and he on average it's about $200,000 a lot out there, just give or take. So that's like having 190 small houses coming into Pottsboro and paying taxes. So it's all the way he's doing the development. He sells the lots, and the owners of the lots will pay the property tax. So that helps us, sales tax, all the people that are living there. Yeah, we're really kind of.
Mayor, can I add that real quick?
Yeah,
So in the developers agreement, the city asked for, at his cost, he's gonna install an outdoor warning siren out there that's compatible with our existing system now. It's about a $40,000 cost right there. He's also donating $100,000 to the public safety. So,
yeah, it's really cheap. Go show the radio with it. Later, tax.
Yeah, fire department needs to wear packs. That was gonna be hard on the budget on the next fiscal year, so. I've got taken care of.
Lakewood Country Crossing, they're adding 18 lots in there. So that'd be new development there, you know, the city. Snyder, the martial arts studio, out of that thing, that's it was an old man place out that, there was players and they split it. And it'll be a martial arts studio and then flex, development space, business, where they have like a business park, space, they'll have, that's two out there, and then we had talked private one on Front Street. There's 16 lots there. But we got a lot of stuff coming in. There's gonna be water. Chief's been working on the water. We're getting to water reading system. And update on the dealer, I think is who it is. So from the lightning strike, that got taken out, so we're having to read meters, you know,
Boots on the ground.
walking. So we don't have a man how to do that. Doing that job. We're buying. He's working with the water wells. Yes, our lawyer, he's doing, things on the side. We're working with water, Denison, so. All that's just kind of a day to continue. Little bit of, announcements, has made a deal with the county for, brush removal again, so we had, our road truck out here, that's on the set up, and we'll be able to deliver brush. So they'll haul it off to the airport, burn it out there. We don't have to burn it, we'll just collect it. So that's a great thing again for our. We started the new batting cages over here at Thompson Park yesterday. So we got it on in for the kids over there. That should take maybe 45 days. Friday is the 13th, and that's the last day to get your packet in for city council. And on our city council, we have 3 positions that are up for voting, and all 3 of our city council that are voting. Tonight we do have a 4A meeting. And then we'll be discussing the 4A plan and how we keep it or maybe away with it, but we do definitely want to build some infrastructure in the city. I think there has ways that we can use it to project here. So I guess.
So is that moving the 4A over into the general fund?
Well, just it would if we
Approved.
abolished it. Because I feel like there's pretty conflict.
So then it takes from that tax.
Yeah, we all be trained on this stuff because it's just so complicated that they put special provisions on it. Where you can only spend it on a certain thing. So we gotta really know what we can spend it on. And if we can spend it on something like expansion, all roads, whatever, that's something that we need to. Yeah. You know, it's just it's and there's $1 billion in these accounts. So you need to do something. That's my update. Y'all got any questions?
Thank you, Mayor.
Speaker, but Nick, we're gonna have Chief Nick come give us, update that he's got.
I think Mayor CC covers a lot of everything. It's little busy, there are a lot of all of a sudden. And so spent a lot of time with our city engineers and pre-development plans and everything that's involved in that. I'm just up here really to answer any questions you guys might have for me. I mean, like I said, you covered a lot of it. You know, we did prepare for that ice storm internally. Went around, made sure all our generators were functioning properly. Did have to do a couple of there. To us, our infrastructure is providing water, not running out of water during that. You know, that ice storm was more important than trying to figure out how we might be able to clear a road. TxDOT finally did hit Franklin because technically it's 996, so it is a TxDOT road. They just went down through there, motor graded it off, and now they put so much ice up on some people's driveways, they really couldn't get out of the driveway. So I did have Public Works guys jump on the backhoe, which isn't really technically a good piece of equipment to be doing that. Maybe there's some of those driveways so people can get back out, back out on the road. I requested some brine to be put down from the PD back to 120 that would cover the fire department and the PD that, so we would have access to or emergency responses, however they put it. Anyways, we did the best we could do with the resources that we had as far as the ice goes and the roadways. Do you have any questions for me? Yes, ma'am.
Would the city like to have internet at Thompson Park?
That's a possibility, so I've got a call in right now, whether it's alarms that we use for our alarm system at City Hall. My question for them is, what capability, I need some security cameras put up.
I
The
think
parks,
the
you know,
library
so,
would help with that.
yeah, so, yes,
Yeah.
they may require my time to be at the park, to run those cameras.
Any other questions? Awesome, okay, thank you, we're excited. Hey, Renee, you wanna, you want to do that? Take the library?
I really do want to thank, I guess I'm gonna call him cheese. Just all the partnership that we've had just in the last couple months. Some of the goals that we've been working on with the city, we've got city council chamber is now night, and we are going to begin streaming meetings hopefully, by the next city council meeting. So for people that can't get out, and want to be part of the meeting, they will at least be able to do it. I should have said this earlier, but we are doing the test today with streaming. This is the same camera here that I bought for the city. And these funds are all from grants that we've received at the library. So just a huge kudos to Diana, because without these funds, we would not be able to do some of these things. So it really is awesome. You probably also noticed our new outdoor cover outside. So we just had that installed on Saturday, and that is eventually going to be an outdoor seating area where we're going to have classes, but we will also have power and free Wi-Fi. So if somebody needs to come by during, the evening, or if just want to sit outside, we will have access out there. Believe it or not, there's not a single outlet outside of this building. So even when I was something, I have to prop the door open and run for it. So we're excited to get that set up. It'll be a few months, and eventually we are going to have a backup generator for the library. So in the case where we need to have emergency response, people can come. Now, personally, I could not get out of my neighborhood for the ice storm, but that doesn't mean that emergency services couldn't open this building and staff it if we need to have something for our community. So I'm really excited about that to come as well. We have a lot of great events coming up. Next Monday, we're having a George Washington event for kids. We're having a trivia, so a little history education, and the Daughters of the American Revolution are going to be here. We will have selfie stations with George and all of his friends. Kids can take pictures, and we're kind of leveraging the 250th anniversary at the library this year. It's just a great way to celebrate our country's history. In March, we're having a scavenger hunt around the library about the Statue of Liberty. So we have been 3D printing Statue of Liberties for kids to find throughout the library, and that will be on March 16th. We have some great stuff for spring break. The Master Gardeners are going to be doing a class about how our forefathers planted, and so that would be really cool. We have a lot of tech classes, an AI one coming up about disinformation, cell phone assistance. So that's pretty much what's back on the library. Any questions or anything? Awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, a little update from the chamber, what we've got going on. So annual banquet is coming up on the 21st, next week. Next week. So we're excited about that. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Tomorrow we will stop selling tables, like sponsorships, but we will have single tickets still open. So if you haven't got your tickets, get your ticket. Also, April 10th and 11th is gonna be our citywide garage sale. This year, we're doing it a little bit differently. It's gonna be free to be in the garage sale. We have a website that you can go on and just enter your information, register on the website and get on the map. Sorry about that. And it'll be good. So April 10th and 11th, so prepare for all the garage selling. And then our next community chat is April 14th, so don't forget, family, friends, neighbors, more people come to this, learn about our community, ask questions.